Free socks. Free socks.
Welcome back, everybody, to Thursday nights, 9 o'clock on the Triple B Experience. I'm your host, Bubba Brewer, and tonight we haven't been here because last week we were preemptive for that lovely, crappy defensive loss there by the Pittsburgh Steelers on a Thursday night. We had a live stream on the Steeler Dynasty Network, and it wasn't too good. But we're back. We're going to do some pulp culture, and we are going to do our top 10 action movies of the 80s of all time, in our opinion. And there's going to be some crazy ones that people probably would have thought, but we don't know. But honestly, we're going to talk about it here very, very soon. But before we get started, I got to bring in my co-host of Steelers Dynasty Podcast. He's also the host of West Virginia Mountaineer Mafia. He just had a show tonight. He's special field correspondent, Shane Stodmiller. Hi, Shane. How are you?
Good, buddy. I'm ready to pop culture it up.
Okay, good. That's good. And I can only imagine you probably have 50 movies ready.
Nope.
Okay. And then we're gonna talk a little bit of some Peacemaker, the ending of Peacemaker, and anything that's going on in the realm of pulp culture that we know that we can tell you guys. And we can get some discussion. But before we start doing any discussion at all, we got to get the mojo of mojo and the action figure connoisseur, the pulp culture wizardry of knowledge. I just added that one in. Mm-hmm. But ladies and gentlemen, here he is. Thursday nights. He had a week off because our Steelers shit the bed last week. But everybody, here he is. Our man Cable. Hi, Cable. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How you guys doing?
Oh, pretty good.
Your intros get tougher and tougher to live up to, Bubba.
I'm sorry. I just throw it out there and I just come up with stuff on top of my head, even though I had a couple concussions. Now, last week we had to delay due to the fact of the Steelers Cincinnati game, which didn't fall in our lap like we wanted to in the last 2.5 minutes, which I almost, Shane had to calm me down off a ledge. Yeah. But we're doing 80s action movies, top 10 of our own choosing. And I didn't get too descriptive with the categories for action movies because I told Shane before you come on, Cable, I'm not picking Empire Strikes Back every time. I think that's
I didn't use sci-fi. I didn't use any of those Empire Strikes Back or Star Wars.
I didn't know no Star Wars.
No Star Wars. This list is tough for me. I'm not as versed in 80s action movies as you guys are, I think. 90s action movies.
I wonder why.
90s action movies, I'll talk all day long. And I've seen most of them, what you would call the classics and stuff, but it was a difficult list for me to compile. And that was one of the reasons I had a lot of trouble. Very good point is, what's a true action movie? Because, you got a blending of genres, sci-fi, horror-ish, so for me to make a list of true blue action movies, it was a little difficult. So I only have 3 honorable mentions, and I don't even consider all of them full-on action movies either. Right. So
okay, this should be this is, and I enjoy doing this because it's very interesting on how you two pick stuff, and it goes with my stuff, and then the 3 of us sometimes we get it like we think it's the right one, and then somebody just pulls it out, or
sometimes they're more close than you think.
And then some of them we do like somebody will rank it lower, and then one of us will rank it higher than we think on our list. But before we get into the top 10s, we want to talk about the last episode of Peacemaker, and I know Cable said he rewatched it before he come on. So I personally, I thought it was a letdown for me. I just thought after the episode prior, when they were on Earth X, would be a lot better at the ending. But I just they set a lot of stuff up.
Can I say something to make you feel better about that?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
This will make you feel better. Episode 7 was the finale. Episode 8 was epilogue. That would make you feel better, won't it?
I mean, that's good.
That's good. Okay.
I mean,
you're not as disappointed because the finale was 7 and 8 was just like, oh, this is just give you a little bit of what's going to happen going forward.
Okay. Well, I know we're going to get a quick little discussion, but Cable, since you just recently rewatched it, what was your take on that last episode? It could have been the first episode of something different.
So I had about the same feelings as you the first time around. I was kind of like, oh, that was it. I didn't dislike the episode, but episode 7, like we talked about the week after that one aired, I think we may have all been in agreement that was maybe the best episode of Peacemaker total both seasons. And at least personally for me, I thought it was. So episode 8 felt like a cool down. You're at the top. 7 was the peak, and then you're coming down on the other side of it. That's a great assessment, Shane. It did feel almost like an add-on, like an epilogue after you get the main story. Having watched it the second time, kind of knowing where it was going, I was able to appreciate it more for what it was. And there's a lot of good moments in the show. It's just that doesn't feel like a finale, a season finale. So I don't dislike it at all. There's great Peacemaker moments in there. Seeing him and Hardcore finally hooking up, or not hooking up, but having these intimate moments, and her walls coming down and everything.
Right.
Very important things happened in that episode for the series. It's just episode 7 was a tough act to follow.
Yep.
Well, I don't know much about the DC storyline of Salvation because it was a limited series, like a 12-part issue. I look, my DC lore, I know when I tap out, but they added that in. They did Checkmate, which I knew about it, but I never read anything about it. And that probably could be maybe season 3, but it'll be under a different name. I don't know. I
thought I had heard somewhere that this was the last season.
This is last season.
Yeah. Is it?
I think it is. And if anybody in the chat knows more than we do, please tell us. But I think they're going to start off and do the Checkmate. I mean, I don't.
So Peacemaker's technically over, but it's still a continuation of these characters.
I think so.
Okay.
And then Peacemaker is on that planet, and that planet is Darkseid was training in the comic book, and then they would send all these villains to this planet.
Yeah.
And I think Rick Flag did a little heel turn there at the end, but he got his revenge from him killing his son, which I think I can understand that. I think that's,
So they did such a good job here at the end of the season with his character, because I didn't dislike his character. Frank Grillo's a great actor. I've liked him in everything I've seen him, and he's always solid. And there's nobody that doesn't watch the Suicide Squad movie and then Peacemaker and understand his motivations. This guy killed your fucking kid. And, in the movie, Peacemaker was a dickhead anyway. Mm-hmm. People really didn't like him until he got his own TV show. You saw there was a little bit of heart to him, and they explored his character more. But I hated Rick Flag Sr. by the end of the season, that finale. They did such a good job writing that character and his acting to make me turn against him, even knowing what you know. So I commend them for that.
Well, do you think, and I'll start off with you, Shane, do you think, since you watched Creature Commandos, do you think that was Clayface? or I know
Rick Flag.
Clayface took over because he broke his back. He broke his back in Creature Commandos.
Ooh, that's good. I didn't think of that.
I don't know if Gunn said that was or it wasn't, or he was playing it off. It could have. It just could be me. But I mean, they never finished that storyline, and they're doing a Clayface movie. But he got his back broken, the animation stuff, and all of a sudden he comes in and Superman and then Peacemaker, and he's fucking good. And then all of a sudden at the end, he turns into a fucking total asshole. Like, I don't know if it is or not, but what do you think, Shane?
I think Rick Flag Sr. would be an asshole, though. Don't you, Cable?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
They look a lot alike. So, like, that's the problem I have with Rick Flag. I think he's a great actor. I like him. And I kind of get weirded out when a guy comes from the Marvel universe and goes to DC. It just messes with my mind. You know, kind of along the lines of like seeing a quarterback switch teams. You know, with you a little bit, but I get used to it. But I just really I thought it was great. Episode 7 was a banger.
Mm-hmm.
I think they wrapped everything up, and then there were some questions, and they tried to answer it in episode 8. Once I thought about it like that, I wasn't disappointed. I was disappointed until I thought, wait a second, that was the finale. That had to be the finale because that everything came to a close. And that was just kind of like a precursor to what's going to happen with Superman, the next Superman, or what's, you know, I don't know.
Well, I think that Warner Brothers is trying to Paramount's trying to buy Warner Brothers, and then it's like anything. If they do buy it, do they shake it up and toss Gunn out on his ass?
That's going to happen. Yeah,
that could happen. And then where do you go? Do you go back from square one? But also, too, at the end of Peacemaker, he's standing there out in the middle of the field, and then you hear, I know I heard dinosaurs or some fucking thing like.
Monster.
I mean, I've been hearing shit for at work. Like I think I'm hearing ghosts at work anyway. But beside the point, yeah, and like I said, I don't know that storyline in DC, and like Gene said, the Lantern TV show on HBO is coming. So I think that's supposed to mend a little bit or add more to it. And I know HBO Max, I think they just jacked up their rate because I just got an email. Fucking Disney Plus just jacked up their fucking rate, son of a bitches. Oh. So yeah, I don't know here, but go ahead, Cable.
If there is some kind of shakeup, Warner Brothers gets sold. Crazier things have happened. You know, dumb people exist out in the world. But anybody with any kind of business sense, there's no way you are able to reboot DC Connected Universe again. I mean, part of the reason why, and I don't think DCU is failing. I think the goalposts are just different than it was around the time of the DCEU. Movies don't make the money they did 10 years ago. That's just the world we live in. So I don't think that the DCU is any kind of failure because I think we got the best Superman ever out of it, which that's a personal opinion. But I think anything that Gunn has touched so far, Creature Commandos, The Suicide Squad, Superman, Peacemaker, is golden. And there's no way you start again now. Because if you want to lean into the idea that the DCU is not doing as well, part of it is because some people didn't jump on ship with it after the DCU sunk. They're Snyderverse fans and they don't want to move on, or people are just tired.
And I seen that the Black Adam had more streaming minutes on HBO Max than Superman.
And Black Adam, I just watched a little bit of that again. The final scene where the Black Adam talks to a Waller and Superman.
Okay.
I liked Black Adam. I thought that was a fun movie, and I think I'm one of the few people that liked it. But
I liked it too.
There were parts of it I liked. I wasn't sold on The Rock in that character, and I don't think The Rock did a bad acting job. I just knew all the bullshit that came along with it, where he tried to hijack the DCEU and make his Black Adam this pivotal point in the universe. But oh my God, Dr. Fate's actor.
Dr. Fate, Pierce Brosnan, great.
Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate was fantastic. Mm-hmm. We finally got a live action in film. Hawkman you know, all these characters that we've never seen. That was such a cool part of that movie, in the setting that, you know, goes along with Black Adam, Egypt, and all that. There, even though it wasn't the best movie, there were things to enjoy out of it. But it's still, you can't bring a lot of that stuff over. You know, that you can't keep carrying all this stuff, because if you're not going to bring Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and Henry Cavill as Superman, then burn it all down and start again, which they did. And the Black Adam thing, I would hope, is just because it's been around for years, and Superman's only been on HBO Max for months. So those numbers may change as time goes on. But, you know, we'll see. It's the movie-going audience is very fickle these days, and it's hard to tell. There's so many outside influences also.
I just think, you know, for me, going to the movies, it has to be something that's going to get me out of the house. Superman got me out of the house, and the Fantastic Four this year got me out of the house. I don't know what other, you out of the three of us, Cable, you go to more movies than the three of us. I used to. I just don't anymore, because there's nothing that intrigues me.
Every 2 weeks I'd go, and now I just don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I go, you know, regularly, but kind of like what you're saying, my version of that is, do I just run down the road to the Indiana Mall Theater, or do I make a trip and go to Waterfront? That's where how important is this movie? Do I just see it on IMAX screen, or do I just stay local?
Mine is like, do I want to watch it on my cable box in a week, or do I want to go see Indiana and get still-ass popcorn because Indiana movie theater fucking blows? Or do I go and do something and go to the Waterfront where I got to make a assigned seat? But I think my next movie is probably going to be the Predator movie, because I seen the previews and the trailer, and that I think might be my next movie that I go see.
Are you going to Indiana to see that, or are you going to come to like another theater?
I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like that's probably the next one. Like I haven't. Oh my God! Wow, Afton's gone to 2 movies.
That's about where I'm at.
But she's been to 2 movies, but she knows everything about every movie that's come out.
She's a pop culture tramp.
She's a savant.
She knows a little bit about all the pop culture.
Yeah, I just thought that Badlands just looked good, you know. And then I saw the Godzilla movie here at the house. No, I went to the movie theater to see it, and then I rewatched it here at the house. I just don't know what's up and coming, I think, in movies right now. I'm so far behind, like in TV shows that are streaming. We started doing the Righteous Gemstones, and the first episode in the season 4 was Bradley Cooper was the fucking descendant. You know what I mean? And I'm just, me and Tammy, I'm just so far behind, because, you know, it is what it is. And it's football season too.
I have a question for Cable about Badlands.
Oh.
That synthetic being that's with the Predator, that looks a lot like the synth that was in the Alien TV show we just watched, right?
Well, I think it, you know what, I'm trying to remember if I noticed this or if I was just guessing. I thought it had a Wayland Corp logo on it, which is the Alien universe.
Same universe.
But I can't remember now if I just was guessing at that, if that was a hunch or if that is the truth.
I think
I gotta watch that.
I
I haven't even seen that yet, and I need to watch that, and so I know. And Gene said Mortal Kombat is delayed, but they're already starting 3. See, I forgot to put that. That was a good movie. I liked the first original one.
Well, it wasn't the 80s, was it?
Yeah, I think it was. No,
95.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, well, when we get to the 90s, then.
Okay. You ready to do this? I'm ready to do this.
Yeah, I'm ready here. So here we go. Our top picks for our 1980s action movies, and action movies could be anything with action. Sci-fi. Hi, Garth. Sci-fi. I got your email too. Sci-fi, or whatever. But I tried for me. I wasn't doing any Star Wars movies.
Me too.
Because to me, Empire Strikes Back is, whatever. I mean, there's so many different categories that we could go. It's unreal. But to me, action movies is something that pretty much has a gun or a sword or something.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about with that one, and that's not on my list. I want to say I have no Steven Seagal movies either. But anyway, my first movie, top 10. Okay. It was a movie based about the National Guard. Okay. And they were down in the Bayou Cajun country. And they didn't have any fucking bullets. It's called Southern Comfort. Like at the end, they thought that they got, the Bayou Cajun guys were fucking going after them and shit. And they had to try to survive. And then what happened at the end, they had the National Guard choppers come in. They had like the guy who played he played the Powers Booth starred in it. He was in Captain America, Winter Soldier as the Hydra, the guys in black, and then he was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He was also in Tombstone. You know what I mean?
Never heard of that movie.
Yeah, it's National Guard. I saw it one time. Yeah, and they at the end they thought they got out of the Cajuns, because it was like a sort of like Deliverance kind of thing. And they thought they got out. And then what happened was the fucking Cajuns took over the fucking helicopters of the military. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, because it was an action movie, but they didn't have they had like one fucking live round, because they had rubber bullets because they were practicing the National Guard weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got off course. Yeah. So that was my number 10. So Shane, your number 10 is you want me to put this on the thing?
Pull it up. Yeah, pull it up.
That's your number 10?
My number 10 is They Live.
Oh, Shane got graphics this time.
Yeah, I'm trying to. So
wow.
I'm surprised Bubba didn't have this in his top 10. I had this up higher. It kind of just slid down, but it had to be in there. Roddy Piper. This is a great movie where all the aliens are disguised as people. And Roddy Piper puts on the shades.
That's Piper's best movie ever.
Yeah.
And I think it's very iconic, but to me, it's more of a, I was going to go, it was more, to me, it was like sci-fi, but they have the best fight scene ever of all time in any movie.
Fight scene and the fact that they beat each other up, that puts it into the action for me. It has a little bit of sci-fi, but it's more, you don't see a lot of sci-fi other than when they put the glasses on. It has a little bit of horror, but I think it's action. And when I did my list and then I looked online, action movies, and it fell in the action category.
It
validated it for me, it has to be on here because John Carpenter is a horror guy, but that fight scene is probably the best fight scene ever in a movie.
It is. I agree.
Bob agrees. Okay. But anyway, 15-minute fight. Yeah. Anyways, that's mine.
Okay. Shane's got the slides today. Yeah. So Cable. What is yours?
Mine. I think mine might pop up on both of your guys' lists higher, or it might not be on your guys' list at all either. I think it's a classic. The movie is definitely a classic. Kind of walks that line of sci-fi. It's one of the better characters of pop culture also, even though he's only been in 2 outings. Inspired one of the most famous video game characters of all time. I'm going with my buddy Snake Plissken, Escape from New York.
That's a good one.
Good movie.
Which I believe that was John Carpenter also.
Yes, it is. And I saw Hell Comes to Frogtown. Piper was better than They Live, but I mean, it was based on it's a cult classic though too. That's a good one. I'm going to tell you, it's not on. I didn't put it on my list because I did something different. Like, surprisingly, Okay. My number 9. I don't know if you guys ever saw this movie. It's called the Adventures. Remo Williams. The Adventures Begins. Remo Williams.
What are you doing, Bubba? You're picking movies. And I thought
no. It was Fred Ward as this fucking. He got into a secret agent, and he was taught by this guy Joe Gray, who was like an ancient fucking ninja guy, and he would just beat the fuck out of him all the time and trained him, and it made him a secret agent, and he had to fucking save something. So it's Remo Williams. The Adventure Begins, and it was supposedly supposed to start like a franchise, but it didn't.
Okay.
And you got to remember, this is in the 80s, and I'm like, oh fuck, I thought this is pretty cool. So that's what I mean. My list is a couple of the movies nobody's probably ever fucking seen. And there's other movies that everybody has seen. So yeah, that's my number 9. So Shane, I'm going to pull up his graphic here. I love that you got graphics this time. That's your number 9.
This was like, is it action? Is it not? I had it in there. Once again, I had to go to a list. It was the third list I pulled up, and it was in there in a top 20. It's an action movie. You know, there's a car chase scene to start off. You know, there's a dead pirate. Guys, it's the Goonies. If you're a kid, it's action. But hey, and it's not horror. There's a couple horror ones that were there, but
the mom's pretty horror looking.
Anyways, Goonies.
Goonies at your number 9. Yeah. Wow. Number 9 for Devil was RoboCop, and Acton took Highlander.
Oh, Highlander. That's awesome.
Okay, Cable, you're number 9.
Real quick, I think Goonies would probably fall like under action/adventure, which is an old school video store genre. So it's right there in the name, action adventure. You know. Also, I just learned that Fred Ward existed before the movie Tremors, so that's fun to know.
See, yeah, he was in Tremors too. Yeah.
That's all I remember him from, are the Tremors movies. I know I've seen him elsewhere, but I didn't remember seeing him before Tremors.
Yeah, my dad liked that movie too, because he was fucking laughing when the little Asian guy beat the fuck out of him all the time because he was training him. It was good. It was funny.
All right, well, my number 9, I just matched up with somebody in the comments. I didn't catch who it was, but my number 9 is RoboCop. You know, you can't think of the 80s without thinking of RoboCop and his design and just how over the top violent that movie is. And you know, I'd seen bits and pieces of it when it came out when I was younger, but I didn't fully rewatch it until I was close, you know, an adult. And I just kept thinking, wow, Red from That 70s Show is a dickhead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that movie in the movie theater. Yeah. No, I didn't. No, I don't think I did. No.
I ran it.
I think I saw it at home video.
Home video.
Yeah. But I mean, I have the RoboCop Terminator comic book miniseries, though.
Very cool.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a little higher on my list. So my number 8 is why I always wanted to get a Dodge fucking, was it a Bronco? Whatever Bronco. It was fucking
Dodge
buried.
Charger.
Dodge Ram Charger. Yeah, Dodge Ram Charger.
Yeah.
And this is the only and he has a lot of movies in the 80s. He has tons of fucking movies. Yeah. He could push up the fucking world. I've always loved this movie because he fought David Carradine. And I think this is the spinoff of him doing fucking Texas Ranger. My number 8 is Lone Wolf McQuade.
Yes. Good one, Baba.
Thank you. 8 is First Blood for Acton. Okay, Shane.
Well, Baba.
Wow, that goes right into that. Oh no, that's no.
This First Blood. I'm giving you double the blood. I'm giving you First Blood Part 2, the second First Blood. because it came out in the theaters because the made-for-TV movie was so successful. This is it, baby. This is where the genre. There's the trifecta. There's like 4 movies that just the Terminator series, the Rambo series, Die Hard. Those are the 3 big ones, I think. But
all 3 of those
Rambo.
big movie box office superstars.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Number 8, Devil Has Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Good
Very classic. Okay, so Cable.
So I got to throw this tidbit in there. Bubba, I haven't seen a single movie off your list yet.
Oh,
I said I'm not super well versed in 80s action movies. I've seen the top of the most famous ones.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen anything from Walker Texas Ranger except for Walker Texas Ranger.
yeah.
I can't even think of his name now. I'm blanking on it.
Chuck Norris. Yeah, baby.
Norris. Yeah, I kept trying to say Chuck Nolan in my head.
No.
But all right, number 8. This one I had a battle with, because it kind of blends some genres again. But I think this one, if that's the trifecta of 80s action franchises, this one would be like the little cousin to that. Huge in the 80s, but not fully an action movie. Rocky 4.
Okay.
I'm jealous. I didn't pick that.
I don't got any.
Sports movie, but I mean, and it's not my favorite Rocky movie. Like when we went over our sports picks, I put the first one. But Rocky 4 is the best besides the first one, probably, and it's just 80s pop through and through.
Mm-hmm.
The music montage, Cable. The
Right.
montage when he's in the snow. Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Number 7. Ooh, I don't even have these ranked. I have them written down. I'm going off. Yeah. Number 7, I'm going to go with people think it's a Christmas movie, but it's not a Christmas movie. Is it a Christmas movie? Is it not a Christmas movie that made Bruce Willis a superstar? Number 7 for me is Die Hard. So I think the action there speaks for itself. So number 7 for me is Die Hard. That did a whole franchise with that. God bless him. I know he's not doing very well right now, but I mean.
Oh, Acton has a good one. I was gonna
Kickboxer. I see now.
It's represented. That genre was represented in my honorable mentions. So.
Aliens, number 7. Okay. Cable. You are not. Did you saw Die Hard? So out of all my movies now, that's the only one.
I have seen. Yes. So now we're cooking with that.
Okay. I feel a little better now. Okay. Shane, your number 7 is
How to Do It for Mark, right?
You had to do it for Mark.
Knife. This is a knife. Everybody loved Crocodile Dundee in 1986. Everybody saw it. Cable, did you see it?
I've seen it. It's been forever, but I have watched it.
Action movie. Goes to New York. Has a little bit of action, and it's fun, guys. Crocodile Dundee. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's definitely one of my action movies.
And then he hooked up with the actress and got married to her. So
yeah, maybe 10, but I don't know why I left it where I did. But it's in there.
Nice. Okay. Cable.
All right. I might get some shit for this one being low as it is on this list, but it's tough. Once you get to a certain point, it's tough. They're all battling each other, and you're talking about the cream of the crop battle, and action, 80s action starts fighting each other. But my number 7 is Predator. I would imagine it'll be on your guys' list. It's sci-fi action, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably Schwarzenegger's best movie of the decade for me. Spawned a huge franchise. There's not a whole lot you got to say about it. You don't have to sell anybody on Predator.
Right. Okay. Now we are number 6. And my number 6 is there can only be one. So my number 6. Now you know what this movie is, Cable? My number 6 is Highlander. So
Awesome.
that's my number 6. So Shane, yours is good movie.
My son and me just watched this again, guys. You didn't have, if you're like in your teens, and you didn't have some sort of like fantasy where you're going in the woods with your hunting rifle, you're gonna fight the Russians and the Cubans, and then this happened, and you're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna whoop some ass, stingers or whatever your mascot was, Indians or Wolverines, dragons.
Stingers.
You're gonna, you got Jennifer Grey. You got the star-studded cast, like anybody.
Charlie Sheen and Patrick Swayze. That's enough right there.
Patrick Swayze, C. Thomas Howell, Leah Thompson, Jennifer Grey. So Jennifer Grey dies, and I mean, it's just fantastic, guys. You got to watch it if you haven't seen it. They fight the Russians, the Cubans. They invade America. It's classic 80s angst about what was happening in the world. The Cold War. Gotta love it. Action, 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 action. That's it.
Sorry, I had to write something down.
Uh-oh.
Powers Booth again. Yeah, he was in there. He was the airplane pilot.
He was a major something, or lieutenant colonel something.
Yep. Okay, Cable.
All right, I'm gonna stick in the same neighborhood as I was on my last pick. Jump over one franchise to the Alien franchise. Aliens is number 6 for me.
Good one.
That is a good one.
I think it's the best one in the franchise. They're 1 and 2 are both very good.
That's
and then
Bill Paxton. I ain't fucking going out there, man. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. I ain't fucking doing it. You want to go out there? You fucking go, man.
That's a pretty good impression.
Yeah, I know. I do it every day when I got to go to work.
I can't think of his name, but Ringo from Tombstone and from the Terminator.
Michael Biehn, the guy from Terminator.
Yes, yeah. Sigourney Weaver becoming a full-blown action hero when there weren't many females doing that at the time. What it meant to that franchise. James Cameron come in, taking the torch from Ridley Scott and turning that full-blown action. I think that's one of the great ones from the decade.
I was on a chat cable one time where people were giving me shit because I was giving Ray shit, saying I just don't like strong women and I just can't handle. I'm like, yeah, because it was perfected in 1986 because it was written well by a badass actress. You didn't need all this other fluff and bullshit. It was called Aliens.
Yeah.
And the character, it wasn't about a woman or a man. It was just a badass character. It just happened to be a woman. So if you don't play the sex card, that's one of the strongest characters in all of action movies. Yeah. Bottom line.
Nope.
I mean, James Cameron, he does that, and then he follows it up with Linda Hamilton in Terminator 2 a few years later. He knew how to make a strong woman character that wasn't important because she's a woman, like you said. She was just important because of the character she was.
He wrote a strong character and happened to put a woman in there. That's how you
do it. Yeah.
Okay. We're at number 5 on this lovely. Number 5. Number 5, I'm going to go with, because I seen this in the movie theater. And I put a headband on and I had my toy gun fucking playing whatever. My number 5 is Rambo First Blood Part 2. Because I went to the movie theater to see that. And that's
right.
Yeah. So, and Acton had Lethal Weapon. Her and Devil had the same. So we're going to go with Shane's number 5.
Even though Bubba hates this guy.
I don't like it.
Everybody wanted a rubber jacket. Everybody wanted to join the Navy. And everybody wanted a ninja. because I have the need for speed, and he was inverted. There you go. Action.
Yeah, I don't have any fucking Tom Cruise movies at all, except for in any of these lists, except for Tropic Thunder, and that was a minor fucking character.
He made some of the most iconic movies of all time.
I know. I don't know what it is about him. Why I fucking despise him as an actor. Maybe it's.
But his movies, don't you enjoy his movies still though? You can't give the movies credit?
I like I just think his personality fucking takes to the screen with me. I do like Cocktail. I think that's one of his best. Cocktail, and then Cocktail because it had Elizabeth Shue. And then it's the Samurai. The Last Samurai was very good. But in all the Mission Impossibles, he just I just can't get through them all.
You know a movie, guys, that I wanted to force it shoehorn in here. That's such a good movie that I don't really think it's an action movie. I need your take. Last of the Mohegans. I don't think it's an action movie. It has some action, but
yeah,
I think it's more of a timepiece movie, or a timepiece like
drama,
dramatic, historical. There, war. Yeah, there. Okay.
And Cable is
my number 5. If Shane's Maverick, then I'm going to be Iceman. We got the need together there, brother. I got Top Gun as my number 5 also.
Yes.
Jesus. Okay.
Yes.
Great minds.
Jesus. Okay.
I mean, you look at even the soundtrack. I was just having a talk with somebody the other day about this. One of the best movie soundtracks of all time for, licensed songs. Oh my God.
Flashdance. Those are all like the soundtracks.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the second one.
Oh, it's so good. It is so good. It was so much more of a movie. It was so much better of a movie than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I saw it opening weekend, thought it was going to be just kind of, let's go down the nostalgia trail. And it was way more of a movie than I expected to get out of it.
Maybe I have to open my circle. Maybe I'm just closed-minded or something. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But we are at number 4. Number 4. My number 4 is, you guys already said it, RoboCop is my number 4. RoboCop, I mean, when he gets fucking he's damn near at death. He turns into RoboCop. He just goes and busts fucking people and starts like, you are jaywalking in Detroit City. And he fucking spins his fucking gun. And so number 4, Acton, is Indiana Jones and Last Crusade. Very good movie. Terminator. Yep.
And not to mention, I didn't bring it up when it was my pick. I thought you might bring it up on yours, but he also saved Sting back in WCW.
He did, and he broke the fucking cage. But that wasn't Peter Weller.
And that wasn't the 80s.
And I was going to put Peter Weller and Sam Elliott in a movie called Shakedown, where Peter Weller was an attorney, and my God, the ageless wonder, of Sam Elliott was a cop, and they had to solve his fucking case, So, but I didn't put it in my list, But I did not like RoboCop, the sequel. I went to the movies to see that. I didn't like it. I didn't like the third one where he flew. I didn't care for that. But Back to Basics would be good. I didn't like the remake, the reboot or whatever. I didn't like that at all.
I watched it. It was like, eh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here, Shane, this is yours.
Yippee-ki-yay. That's all I got to say about that. For you guys, it's a little higher up on my list. It's iconic, because he was the first action star that didn't have muscles, that didn't have kung fu. He was just a badass regular dude doing his job without shoes, right?
Right.
No, that's true. That's true.
Yep.
It's still pretty good. I mean, it holds the test of time. And then the dude from Family Matters as the cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Carl.
Okay. Cable?
All right, number 4, maybe higher for you guys. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting too old for this shit. Number 4 is Lethal Weapon.
I don't have it on my list.
Wow.
I don't, and I do. Here's the problem that I have. There is another person where all his movies I could have put on my whole fucking list, but I didn't. And I do like Lethal Weapon. I think the first one was really good. And I do like Mel Gibson because I was going to put The Road Warrior on my list, and I didn't. But yeah. And I was going to put Lethal Weapon on there, and I think I have all the series. Cobra. Yeah. Yeah. It's surprising as it is. Yes. This is a very hard list. Yeah, it's very hard. I mean, because you can only have 10, and then I did my honorable mentions. You know what I mean? Like, and then I pulled some stuff out of the fucking fire that no one ever heard of before. So that's probably why I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I can't believe your top 2 bottom picks, 10 and 9, you couldn't have squeezed Lethal Weapon in there somewhere. I mean, I can't say anything because I haven't seen them, so I can't judge the quality of them. But yeah, I have a buddy actually. One of my good friends has a portrait of Mel Gibson in the part where he's got the barrel of the gun under his chin tattooed on his leg.
Oh shit!
And it's an amazing portrait. I mean, it looks like you're looking at a black and white photo of him
on your leg.
Okay,
so you got Jean-Claude Van Damme from Hard Target when he was rocking the mullet on his other leg.
That was a good one too. That was good. There's so many of the 80s.
Good tonight on the
Okay,
chat.
so we are at 3. Am I correct? 3?
Yep.
Number 3. Number 3. Number 3 is my only Kurt Russell movie. And he was going through Chinatown. My number 3 is Big Trouble in Little China. I like that movie.
That's the epitome of an action movie, my friend.
Yep.
Got some fantasy elements to it, though, also. And it's got all sorts of different, I remember I'd seen that movie poster and cover a million times at Blockbuster. I had no idea what it was about. And then when I finally watched it one time, I was like, this is not the movie I thought I was getting into, but that's the charm of it.
And Devil says Batman, and Acton says never say never. I got no James Bond. I got no James Bond. Okay, Shane's number 3.
Guys, if you have a limp man card, if your man card needs laminated, if you actually need maybe the man card punch, or your lady friend needs a little bit of extra help, put in Roadhouse. It also is good for the old sex education, not the TBS, but maybe the HBO version. Guys, it has monster trucks, Swayze fighting, Swayze fornicating, and it has monster trucks. There you go.
And it got Sam Elliott kicking ass and getting his ass kicked by Terry Funk
with the stash. Yep. There it is.
That's Afton's number 1.
That's right. I had it there and I moved it, guys. This is my favorite. This is probably one of my all-time favorite movies. I watch it whenever it's on. My kids watch it. Although the TBS version, I think
I haven't seen the remake yet. I have not seen the remake.
The remake's not bad. It's not bad. It's not the original, but it is
right. Okay.
Of course, Acton loves Roadhouse. Everybody loves Patrick Swayze.
Okay,
Patrick Swayze is on my list as much as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I can only imagine what has here because he's just the way he's looking.
Well, I'm trying to hide because I'm going to get chased out of here. I've never watched Roadhouse. And the reason I've never watched Roadhouse is I'm going to fly right in the face of what you just said, Shane. Patrick Swayze is to me what Tom Cruise is to Bubba. The only Patrick Swayze movie I've ever watched is Point Break. I don't like him. I'll see myself out, guys.
That's what my top action movies for the 90s.
Okay. Yeah, I just whatever it is about him, I'm not a big fan of him, and I know he's gone and everything, and everybody, I feel like I'm the only person on earth that hasn't seen Roadhouse, and everybody loves it. Everybody talks it up. I just gotta bite the bullet and watch it one day. But yeah, I haven't seen it.
Really, I didn't appreciate him until he was gone.
Yeah,
I thought he was good. I did like him when he was. I scratched out some stuff, but he was in another movie I had as an honorable mention, but I scratched it out, called Next of Kin with Liam Neeson as his cousin.
Definitely top 10.
Very good movie. Yeah. Yeah.
It was on Sliders top 10.
Oh, Martin Cove, and I remember that. I saw that with Steel Justice. I remember that. My number 2 is.
Well, I didn't give my number 3.
Oh,
I was goofing around too much. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
My number 3 has not been mentioned, but the sequel has been brought up by both of you gentlemen. My number 3 is the original First Blood. I like the second one. Second one's definitely more of an action movie. First one's a little bit of a drama, but I think it's one of Stallone's best acting jobs in the first movie. I think it's the best story out of the ones I've seen. So I have not seen all of the Rambo movies yet. I'm not even sure where I tapered off at, because I know I was just binging them all one day and they all started running together. So I'm not even sure which ones. I think I was in 3 when I stopped watching.
Is he in Afghanistan? And 3's he's in Afghanistan, helping them fight the Russians in 3.
Yeah, okay. So I think I started that one. I don't think I finished it. But,
okay.
The first one, you just think of how heartbreaking that story is. Not quintessential action, for sure, but...
you had a bad guy as the sheriff. I mean, Brian Dennehy played a fucking brick.
Yeah, he did. At that point, all I had known him from was Tommy Boy. So
yeah.
I had a lot of shell shock going from all these people that I grew up watching in the 90s that were in comedies and stuff, and then going back and seeing what they did before that. But the end where he just wipes everything out, that big climactic shootout and everything, so my number 3 is First Blood.
Okay, that's a good one. And then I think Brian Dennehy was also in a movie called FX. And that was an action movie where they had special effects. And the guy.
Oh, the serial killer.
I don't know what it was. It's been a while since I've seen it, but he was in it. And then the guy who starred with him, they tagged up to do something. He was the FX designer. And I think Brian Dennehy was the cop or something. And that guy was the bartender from Cocktail.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was like the British guy. It's been a long time since I seen that, and Dennehy playing that fucking cop, because my dad was in Nam, and he goes, that's pretty much how it was back then. Like they didn't get no fucking respect and fucking, I mean, shit like that, and that kind of sucks. And anybody that ever served this country should get respect no matter what they do. So that's my opinion. But my number 2 is something you guys already said before, was Predator. It is Predator. That's my number 2. I didn't know what the hell it was when I saw it, when I watched it. And, it had Jesse Ventura, the great action scene with that fucking super Gatling gun. I mean, yeah. Good movie. Spawned many fucking spinoffs and franchised out. That was the first one. Franchised out with the Aliens versus Predators. The comic book series, they actually did a comic book with the brother of Dutch in the comic book. That's a 4-part issue from Dark Horse in the 80s. So yeah. And Acton said Blues Brothers, and Devil says Conan Terminator, yeah. Rock. Yeah. So here we go. Shane's number 2 is
I'll Be Back. Schwarzenegger's on here twice, and so is Swayze. So there he is. Number 2 is Schwarzenegger in Terminator. This really made your mind just kind of like, oh my gosh, what's AI, all this stuff's gonna take over, and then fast forward and you're like, wait a second, we're living in that time right now. So here it is.
Predators, a movie that spawned governors. That's funny. Well, I think the sequel to this, if we do a 90s, that'll be,
yes.
I think Judgment Days,
Better.
the top 90s. Yeah, done better. It just this was a cult classic based on VHS sales and people going and renting it out. It didn't do good in the movie theater, I don't think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it took people watching it in VHS to give it that cult, and then yeah. Okay, Cable.
How do I follow that up? I'm just gonna say ditto. Terminator is also my number 2. We're sharing some wavelengths tonight.
Yep.
Another movie that spans the gap between genres. It's just as much a horror movie / sci-fi / action movie. So for it to come out when it did, it was kind of its own animal. It's got such a vibe to it. There's there's an aesthetic to it that is so 80s. I remember as a kid, really freaked out when he cuts his arm open and his eye, and he's digging in his eye, looking in the mirror and stuff. And you watch it now, and the effects haven't aged so well, but you don't catch that stuff when you're a kid. And I remember that part was so gruesome to me as a kid, and silly now, but to me, that's one of the best the decade has to offer.
I have a question for Cable. Would, if Schwarzenegger didn't play that, someone that maybe wasn't so physically intimidating, imposing, it probably wouldn't be an action movie. It'd be more of a horror sci-fi.
Yeah, right.
Because he played action movies, it becomes an action movie because he's an action star. Because of the Commandos.
Yeah, he carries that with him into this movie. His reputation precedes him, and that's I agree.
Number 1.
Honorable mentions.
Oh shit! My honorable mentions first. Okay, thank you for clearing that up. My honorable mentions, you guys mentioned. Shane mentioned a couple of them, of course. Red Dawn for me was an honorable mention. This movie that I know Cable never fucking saw before in his entire life was Uncommon Valor. It was about Gene Hackman bringing these guys in to get his kid a prisoner of war, I believe. And they had like Reb Brown, and they had like, Shane, you're shaking your head. Roadhouse was another one for me. Terminator, of course. Yes, Terminator was another Schwarzenegger movie. And there's tons of Schwarzenegger movies I could have put on. I also got Delta Force with Chuck Norris and Lee Marvin when they get all the hostages off the plane, and he had that fucking missile launched fucking motorcycle. So I mean, Chuck Norris had, the 80s is just crazy. But my number 1, now I got a graphic. Now I pulled a graphic out of my ass like 10 seconds ago. My number 1 action movie of all time, if I watch it, it's always debate. He didn't say too much. He didn't fucking really have to, because he just fucking sliced and diced. And then when he wanted the fucking God of Crom after him, and he just, delegated the women and raped whatever, I don't know. My number 1 is Conan the Barbarian, by far. Conan, as and a lot of stuff to do with Conan in action, and the author. There's so many books about Conan. Marvel, did a lot of stuff with him, and the remake is terrible. Conan Destroyer could have been way better. If they ever make Conan the King, would be great, but I don't think they're ever going to make it. But that one is, it had James Earl Jones taking the girls and, they fucking dive off the fucking cliff. And he was the Lord of Set, S-E-T-H. So, yeah, if I could be wrong, but it's every time it's on, I watch it every time. So that's my number one action movie of the 80s is Conan the Barbarian. So Dane's honorable mention is
you'd pick it. Okay. Honorable mention.
Highlander. Is this an honorable mention?
Yeah, Highlander.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Absolutely. Great movie. I wish I could put it in top 10. I just didn't. Maybe if you asked me in a week, it would be in there. I don't know. Other honorable mention is Bloodsport. Jean-Claude Van Damme would be in here somewhere. What an action. I mean, it is more of a martial arts. That's why I didn't make it in my top 10. But it is an action movie. But it's more martial arts. So kind of, but I don't know. Other one here is Aliens. You guys mentioned it. Has to be here. But drum roll, my number one, and it's been mentioned before by you folks, is
Predator.
Wow.
2 out of the 3 of us got Arnold movies. Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, Cable, your honorable mentions.
All right, my honorable mentions. This one, it's more of an action adventure. I threw it on because the importance of the character. I'd seen some people bring it up in the comments. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Indiana Jones is the epitome of action adventure for me. So, he deserves to be mentioned somewhere. So I'll just mention him honorably and move on. The Road Warrior, kind of the same deal.
Good movie.
Excellent movie. The stunts and everything in that movie are just phenomenal. It's got such a look to it. And Mad Max is another one that has to be talked about to some degree. And my last honorable mention, I can't believe neither of you picked this, just because of
how old we are.
This, what's that?
How old we are.
Sorry, say it again.
How old we are?
No, just your prime movie watching days. I don't know, whatever. Young Guns, which I know is a Western.
Oh, see, that would be,
But that's also
Westerns. Fuck.
Right, it's Western, but it's definitely action too, so
it is. You're right.
And with that soundtrack, that kind of pushes it into the action realm for me also. Then Red Dawn, there's a few other ones you could throw in, but that's about the gist of it for me. And my number one, both of you mentioned, to me, this is the absolute pinnacle of 80s action movie, which is funny because, like we mentioned before, it's kind of the inverse of your typical action movie. Die Hard is, I think, the greatest action movie, maybe of all time even. Shane said it perfectly. Bruce Willis was not an action hero. He wasn't all muscled up. He was, I wouldn't say past his prime, but he was older, and he looked older, maybe even. The villain was Hans Gruber is the antithesis of your typical 80s villain. He was smart. He had a plan that made sense. He's one of the best villains out of any action movie. So for all those reasons where they took the genre and just kind of turned it on its head, I think it's the best. I love the characters in it, and I will die on the hill. I will argue till I have no breath left in my body that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. If you want to see my blood boil or my blood pressure go up instantly, the stuff that we call a Christmas movie these days, it's just fucking ridiculous.
I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. I don't think it's a Christmas movie either.
This movie takes place during Christmas. That's a setting. Time and place.
I was laughing at you because I thought you were saying it was a Christmas movie. There's no way. It just takes place during Christmas.
That's right.
Okay.
That's absolutely it.
We're so on the same page. Because guess what? Die Hard changed the genre. It used to be Conan. It used to be everything was Schwarzenegger and Stallone. Mm-hmm. And it changed the genre because it was a regular guy. Regular people could relate. This is the guy next door.
Well, that That
Yeah.
Chuck did a lot of movies, but his movies wasn't as popular as Stallone's and Arnold's and
No.
Bruce's.
But he
You know
could
what
do
I mean?
karate and kung fu and that kind of shit. So and he had a beard.
Yeah.
That gave him super.
Yeah, they were all imposing, whether it was their size or like a Chuck Norris, his ability. You know, he was presented as this. And I mean, as far as I know, he was a very good fighter in real life. That was all
And we
true.
didn't even talk about like action movies with like Clint Eastwood and then Charlie Bronson in the 80s. Charlie was fucking big in the 70s and 80s. You know, I mean, there's so many. There's a lot. I mean, and when I looked through all these movies, there was a lot of kung fu movies and action movies in the top 500.
Yeah, I tried to keep them out.
Yeah, I didn't want to do any kung fu. I didn't do that. But yeah, this is another one that different stuff has different stuff. Now, next week, God only knows, we'll be back at 9, but what do you, I'm gonna go, Shane, you give me 10.
I would say we've done sports movies. I would say, and this one's for the ladies.
Don't even say fucking love movies because I'm done. I can't do that
Best
shit.
movies to put your lady in the mood. Like it could be like a couple of movies. Like you take a girl on a date. Like
not these.
No, not X-rated.
Okay.
It could be
Okay.
Like,
okay. I will. Okay.
Dancing the Stone or like Weird Science or The Notebook.
So okay.
Romantic, but fun
Okay.
movie.
So
What's that?
Romance? Then is that what we're?
I don't know. I'm just trying to. I don't know what you want. I don't want to do romance. I want to do like. How about comedies? Comedies of the 80s or comedies of the 90s.
What? Wait, comedies? Romantic comedies?
Yeah, romantic comedies. I think that would be good.
For how we would try to take our other half to go see a romantic comedy?
Yeah, like.
And then these are all time and not decades, or is this all time?
All time.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no way I can put 10 together from single decade.
I got one in the 80s. You know, Last American Virgin. Tammy's not going to see that.
Afton, do you think this is a good one? Hit us up in the chat.
Top 10 rom-coms.
Yeah, rom-coms. I'm trying to do something different because we're just going to want to do action in 90s action.
Right.
Yeah,
I
know. I thought that was going to be tough.
So.
And Devil said 80s horror movies.
Now,
horror we could do one day. I would love to do horror, but yeah, I honestly I like your idea.
She said yes, but horror would be good for the season.
That's
so
right. Let's do.
You want it? Let's do. Okay, let's do horror movies. I know we did it a long time ago, but are we going to do a generation? Or I can't do any horror movies now. I don't watch anything.
Well, let's do it between certain years.
How about the 60s to the 2000s or something?
Yeah,
you could pick anything from that. I don't know. I don't. Is that cool, Cable? I don't know much.
I like that because if I remember right, my list had a lot of modern horror on it. So
from 2000 back.
Okay,
right.
Up to 2000.
So let's not include the 2000s. Let's do like 99 and back.
Up to 2000, Acton said.
Okay.
Okay, because the 25 years from now, I wouldn't know fucking horror movies if
it has to be the golden age. So
is that considered a golden age from?
I think so. Like everything from the.
No. I no torture. I can't. Torture horror movies.
No gore horror. Nothing like like.
Right.
Nothing.
And
like
we don't.
Has to have some psychological horror to it, like
gotcha.
The birds, or
Okay.
And it could be as old as we want, right? I know Bubba or whoever threw out the 60s, but I mean, Bela Lugosi, there's.
You go back, yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Okay. We can do. Okay, that's what I'll make the thumbnail for that, and then we'll do
pre-2000s horror.
Yeah, because that'll take us right in. It'll be Halloween. next weekend.
It'll be trick or treat in Homer City actually that night.
Ooh, trick or treat,
So,
Homer.
You may hear my dogs going crazy. Depending,
Okay,
I don't think
we'll do our top 10. Our top 10. It'd be top 10 horror movies.
Pre 2004.
Before our top 10 horror movies before the year 2000.
Yep, that's it. All right, guys. That's a good
okay.
So the
Thank you
20th
guys.
century.
Huh?
Our top 10 horror movies from the 20th century.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. I'm gonna write that down. Okay, I'll write 20th century.
I'm in here.
Okay, cool. So I can do a thumbnail. We'll be back the three of us will be back next Thursday, 9:00, and we appreciate you guys all playing. So thank you guys so much. And we'll be back. Me and Shane will be back Sunday night at 8:00 because Aaron Rodgers is facing the Green Bay Packers, and we need to be 5-2, or I'm gonna start losing my shit.
I'm fine with you.
Yeah, I know you are. So good night, everybody. Good night, Cable. Good night, Shane. Good night, everybody. Oh yeah, because they're facing the Cleveland. Yeah, we need you to beat the Cleveland Browns.
You beat them.
I hope so.
Yeah, you should. Oh, what? I didn't fucking see that. Oh, I gotta end the show now. No, I didn't see that. He's fucking with me. I didn't see that. I did see Frazier. I did see Frazier though. So, but he's got a hip injury. Oh, Devil is. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay,
all right,
he'll play. Okay, I'm getting out of here. Good night, Cable. Good night, Shane. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next Thursday for horror movies of the 20th century, not the 21st century. So, okay. Good night.